Well, I never got into history. I don't understand how you get into history. I don't understand why people aren't. History just seems to me to be, it's about the present that's just happening 100 years ago. And it's about people and them living their lives and the things that are going on in their lives. And it is kings and queens and battles, but they're people too, and how it affects other people's lives. So why read fiction when you could read history? These things have already happened a million times over.
And were you always interested in more sort of modern history that we could relate to, therefore?
Well, I think, like a lot of people my age who've been, and I think I had was probably the last gasp of classical kings and queens O-level history. So I know lots of Tudor history, in spite of whether I'm interested in it or not. But modern history. I think the thing I'm more interested in now is it's sort of juicier. It's closer to explaining where we are now.
Mm. And how important? I mean, in the history that you've done, how important is sort of first-hand testimony of people who actually were there?
Well, first-hand testimony is the thing that can make a thing come completely shine total light on what you're trying to look into. I mean, you have to filter through the fact it's reminiscence and memory is selective. But if you want to understand what it was like to be on the bridge at Arnhem in the Battle of Arnhem Market Garden in September 1944, talk to one of the people who was there, and he'll give you an idea, and he'll be insouciant about it and reflective, but you'll get some idea of what it was like to be in a building on fire while Tiger tanks come up alongside and try and blast you out of the building. And when you talk to someone about that, it becomes that little bit closer. And I'm not saying you'll understand it better, but you'll at least have heard from. I mean, it's the horse's mouth.
Mm. It's literally bringing it to life, isn't it? Literally
bringing it to life, because history is alive. The theory of relativity tells us that somewhere far off in the universe, they can see the world in 1902. 108 light years away. 1902 is still going on, and that's the point about history: is it's a constant present. It just happens to have passed.
I mean, obviously, everybody's family has history, but your own family. I mean, the fact that your family has an interesting history, is that part of?
Well, my family does have an interesting history, and my great grandfather was William Thackeray. But to be honest, that made me run a mile from the fact that he was anything to do with me, and I was not interested in that at all. But it did give me a sense that we don't live in a disembodied present. That everything comes from somewhere. That there are. I mean, I'm amazed. I think there are lots of people who don't know their grandmother's maiden name, and and what that means is they don't know that she was once a young girl who was young, free, and single, and she wasn't always an old lady, and that I find very interesting.
Yeah. And it's so, I find utterly fascinating when you hear something, and it's exactly that actually. You've always had this mental image of this old person, and the realisation, good heavens, she was once 8, and all of that, but therefore what the times were like.
Yeah. Well, this is it. If you watch too many history documentaries, you'll get the impression the Second World War was fought by 75-year-old and 80-year-old men. It wasn't. It was fought by 18 and 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, and and they grew up in quite different times to us. But they were young. They were young people, like I was young once. and I know what it was. I can relate to what it was like being 18. So once you talk to them and their experiences, what they went through when they were at that age, you can maybe relate to it closer. Mm.